Hello, and welcome to Artifact Alley from the History Museum. My name is Catherine Page-Vanore, and I am the registrar here at the History Museum. A registrar is basically a collections manager. I take care of the 3D artifacts in the museum's collection. And I am here today in our wonderful exhibit, Colfax Speaker for Freedom, to talk about some of our most prized artifacts on display down here. One of the highlights of the collection is the Speaker's Chair from the U.S. House of Representatives. Designed for the opening of the Capitol building in 1857, the chair is part of a suite of furniture designed specifically for the House chamber. Originally upholstered in a rich red goat leather, it now has this lovely damask fabric applied to it, and if you look closely at the top of the chair, it features a shield of the United States as well as oak leaves and laurels, which are part of the ornamental facade of the building itself. Speaker Colfax served from his election in 1862 until he was elected vice president in 1868, and resigned just before his inauguration as vice president in 1869. Upon his departure from the speakership, the members of Congress bought this chair and presented it to him as a parting gift. The chair went back with him to South Bend, Indiana, and remained in his home for the rest of his life, and was finally given to the Northern Indiana Historical Society, along with some other items, in 1949. According to the Colfax family, the Confederate gavel, was used to gavel into session the second session of the Confederate Congress in 1862 in Richmond, Virginia. The Congress remained in session until 1865, when the city fell and the Congress was forced to flee. The Union forces that took possession of Richmond presented this gavel to President Lincoln as a trophy of war, and he, in turn, presented it to then Speaker of the House Schuyler Colfax, with the wise suggestion that it may be helpful for him wrangling the cooperation of returning Confederate members of Congress when they might rejoin the United States Congress as a unified nation once again. This gavel was kept in the possession of the Colfax family for many decades after the war, and was given to the Northern Indiana Historical Society in 1949. Colfax was elected vice president along with Ulysses S. Grant in 1868. On March 4, 1869, he was inaugurated as the vice president of the United States. It was a cold, rainy morning. Attendees wore heavy cloaks over their clothing, including Ellen Wade Colfax, Schuyler Colfax's lovely wife, who wore this gown to the swearing-in itself. This is a lovely day dress adorned in black lace, beadwork, and ruffles, and she likely would have had to wear a heavy overcoat to keep herself warm and dry underneath. This piece was kept in the Schuyler Colfax family for many years, but was itself donated to the Historical Society in the 1920s. Once it came into the possession of the Historical Society, it was a jewel of the collection for decades. It was on display in the old courthouse building where the museum used to be for many years. It was finally taken off display in 1976 because the dress had badly deteriorated from so long in the public eye, and in 1996 was sent off for a full conservation to return it to its former glory. And we're very pleased now to be able to show it to the public again in its original grandeur. Thank you for joining me today, and we look forward to seeing you soon at the History Museum.